All right, Steve, start with you. Do you think Odell will be able to grow up?
He doesn't have a choice. He has to grow up. He has to mature. He has to make professional decisions. And then he also has to look at himself and really take the new millennium, what these guys are really focusing on, their brand, and understand that they have to value or put the company first. Because I always tell young guys, you are an independent contractor that can only work in 31 cities. If you want to decide to work in Montgomery, Alabama, guess what? There's no team in Montgomery, Alabama. You have to decide what's important to you and what's not. And the social media aspect of our business has put us in a different light that we don't always like to see. And so I'm glad when I was a young punk, when I stepped on a few landmines myself and also had some self-inflicted wounds, that they didn't have social media there to exploit and for me to exploit myself.
What about this, though? When you stepped in, did you have $10 million in your pocket from the Giants, working in New York? I think those things work against him as well.
Absolutely.
$10 million in your pocket, you're famous, and you're in New York. I think it's going to be real hard to grow up.
Well, he's not going to have a choice, as Steve said earlier. He's not going to have a choice as far as growing up. He's also a very bright kid. He's got two good parents in his life. He's got a number of people mentoring him. The sky is the limit with him, but he really has no choice. And this is one of the healthier conversations that I have seen that was related to Odell, coming from either a coach or someone in the organization. Jerry Reese knows exactly what he's talking about. Now, he's not going to talk to the media before he talked to Odell. So the reason why I believe it's healthy is because he's already sat him down and talked to him. Because there's no way a general manager with his experience in New York is going to say those type of things about a player unless he's addressed that with the player first.
All right, well,
I talked to Odell. He's in pursuit of trying to be great. He don't know how to get there. But at 24 years old, all right, he's still 24.
Yeah.
All right? I remember myself at 24. I don't forget. I believe other people do forget when they were 24 and what they acted like.
You know, but it's funny. You and I have been in this business a long time and covered a lot of players. Once people get to a certain point in life, maybe 24, 25 years old, whether they're poor, rich, whatever, I think they can change, but the changes are more slight. Yes. A guy at 24 and 34 and 44 is variations of what he is. Now, from 9 years old to 24, you can make drastic changes.
You have to.
But is it possible that part of Odell is he is a very emotional player, and there's always going to be disruptions. It's part of his DNA.
Well, I think you've hit on something true. He's emotional. That's one. Number two, that I wonder, both of you guys, he likes attention. He loves to be the focus of conversation.
Yeah, so
Drama.
does he.
So does who?
So does he. So do I.
In a different magnitude.
Yeah, it's all from the same family.
There's some things that I want to do that I am consciously thinking. I don't want a lot of people to know what I'm doing. Not necessarily as I'm doing something bad.
Yeah.
I just you know what? I want a great example is I drove home this weekend from Baltimore and got in my truck, woke up at 3:30, hit the snooze button a few times, 4 a.m., drove home, was home at 11 o'clock a.m. in Charlotte on Friday. It was snowing, bad weather. We had some people in my foundation and some people, got some kids, a buddy of mine, my wife, they went shopping, got some coats and blankets. So at 8, 9 o'clock, we walked the streets of, 6 o'clock, we walked the streets of Charlotte downtown, handed out some coats and some blankets. We didn't post it, we didn't Snapchat, we didn't do any of that stuff. Now I say that now as saying we can all do things, good or bad. How it is presented is up to us. But here's the one thing that I've been saying that I think everybody needs to look at, and somebody said, well, he shouldn't be responsible. That room, when I look at that picture, I look at that guy in that red hat. That guy in that red hat is the oldest guy on that team. So you know what that tells me? That is his room. He doesn't have to have the production, but he's a veteran. And that right there is I don't know what he said. And somebody said, well, maybe he did talk to them. He shouldn't be in there. The old veteran, the savvy old dog should be saying, bro, this ain't what we need to do. We about to go ball this weekend And this is not who we need to be hanging around and doing this. And this is a bad example, but Odell is getting the brunt of it.
Because he's the star.
But he's not the veteran. The veteran should have been like, nah. I've had other opportunities to do things, guys, like, hey, let's go here. Bro, I'm not going.
I guarantee you this, Justin Bieber probably puts on a concert 100 times a year. There's one Super Bowl, and somebody should have told him that. There's once a year they play a Super Bowl, and if you're a great, great player, you may get to play it 4 or 5 times in your career. Justin Bieber concerts, they a dime a dozen. That's again, Chris, I hear you say it's from the same family, but I just think...
The attention is wide receivers. That's the reason why we play the position.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of attention do you want?
Tavares King didn't have a problem. He was in there.
No, he was the only one that didn't go.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he's been on 5 teams since drafted in 2013.
Sound like him getting cut a few times. He wised up.
He didn't get invited.